यशोदनन्दना व्रज जनरञ्जन यामुरतिरावनचारि यशोदनन्दना व्रज जनरञ्जन यामुरतिरावनचारि यशोदनन्दना व्रज
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
ततो जयमुदीरये ततो जयमुदीरये
नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु
नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके
भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी
Krishna. So we are studying from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 3, Shloka number 18. Tata Agni Driye Amsha Kalaya Vatarishyami Atmatulyam Anupalambamanaha. Word to word meaning. Tataha, therefore, Agni Driya, in the wife of Nabi, the son of Agnidra, Amsha Kalaya, by an expansion of my personal form, Avatarishyami, I shall advent myself, Atmatulyam, my equal, Anupalabha Manaha, not finding. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. Jai Shri. Since I cannot find anyone equal to me, I shall personally expand myself into a plenary portion and thus advent myself in the womb of Meru Devi, the wife of Maharaj Nabi, the son of Agnidra. Purport. This is an example of the omnipotence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although He is one without a second, He extends Himself by Swamsha, His personal expansion, and sometimes by Vibhinnamsha, or His separated expansion. Lord Vishnu herein agrees to send His personal expansion as the son of Meru Devi, the wife of Maharaj Nabi, who is the son of Agnidra. The Ritvijaha, the priests, knew that God is one, yet they prayed for the Supreme Lord to become the son of Maharaj Nabi, to let the world know that the absolute truth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is one without a second. When He incarnates, He expands Himself in different potencies. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Tadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Dalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So there's a very wonderful section that is going on, wherein the priests of Maharaj Nabi, so they are all performing sacrifice on behalf of Maharaj Nabi, and then in that arena the Supreme Lord actually appears over there, and then they offered nice prayers that which is very pleasing to the Lord. And in this prayers we can actually see, even if the prayers is not the best of all the prayers, but still the Lord actually becomes pleased with a sincere attempt to render devotional service. and even if they are not asking for the highest thing, the Lord is not telling that like you could have asked something better. In fact, this happens when this one Vritrasur is tormenting, and at the time, like the devotees of the demigods are praying, and then they pray that their kingdom be returned back, the heavenly kingdom be returned back. And then the Lord says that I am very much pleased with your prayers, and definitely like what you have asked for will happen. So, but then you could have asked something better. No, no, he tells. But then you should also know that my pure devotees, they ask only for pure devotional service. They don't ask for anything else. But you have asked for something, definitely it will be granted. So, and then he also expresses that I am pleased with your prayers. Right? So, like there are many entities which are there in the aspect of execution of Krishna consciousness. So, what is the importance of pleasing the Supreme Lord? So, like the role or the act of pleasing the Supreme Lord in itself is not so great. So this was very nicely explained by in our this one Bhakti Shastri. So that Anyavilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavritam Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam. So this is this one, and that devotee asked, or who asked this question? I don't know. That point of Yashoda Maya keeping Krishna down. Krishna was visibly displeased, and then Chanur and Mushtik, when he was fighting with them, he was fighting because he was getting some pleasure. Virya Rasa, he was getting some pleasure. So the point is, many aspects, Krishna becomes pleased. So, but the devotee must do that Anushilanam, or follow in the footsteps of the previous acharyas, and follow in the footsteps of the great established devotees, the residents of Vrindavan. So then that is called as devotional service. So that is one of the important qualifying factors. So here we see that like in the case of the demigods worshipping the Supreme Lord and for getting their kingdom back. So it was definitely this one, a lot of mixture of karma is there. So wherever there is a lot of attachment to result, so then it is having the contamination of karma yoga. So it is there, and where there is a lot of attachment for liberation, there is contamination of jnana yoga is there, and a lot of attachment for siddhi. Then it becomes what is it? Dhyana yogas, contamination. So generally we talk about karma and jnana, the contamination of karma and jnana. So when there is execution of devotional service is there, but when there is a lot of attachment that I need this result for sure, so then there is attachment to karma is there. So if we are attached to this one, Krishna, I am working for this particular result, whatever you want, that's what will happen. So I am just completely okay with whatever you award as the result. So, but I will, in the process, I will never deviate from the standard code of this one, and even if I, by mistake, if I deviate somewhere, from the standard principles, please forgive me. So I should not do manipulation of things, so manipulation of things, sometimes where this happens, we were doing book distribution in this one, from Narsimha Mandir, we used to go to Majestic Subway, So at one point in time, IYF and IVF had a serious clash. Both the teams would go there, and then they would manipulate the score. And one person, he will do some score, and then he will not report also, and wait for the last minute to report. So this means we are executing bhakti, but we have got a contamination of karma. We have become so much attached to I should come first. So then it becomes a contamination of karma, and our bhakti definitely will give result, but it will not give result to that extent, whereas a pure devotional service will offer, which is jnana karmadi anavritam, right? So attachment to result means here this one is the same thing can be done, the same competition can exist in pure devotional service also. So I will try to be the first, and I will try to do all the necessary this one. I'll put all possible effort, and then may the other person also come first. And if he comes first, then I'll be the most happiest person. no, like congratulating them and like really from the core of the heart. If there is something paining, if another devotee is coming first, if I have something paining in the heart, so Karma Mishra is there. So then, no, it will take long time, many births it will take for us to become purified and go back to the spiritual world. So that is why for a devotee, the most greatest anxiety in the morning also we were reading that na anuraga, no, I am not having attraction to the Supreme Lord. So when will that exclusive attraction to the lotus feet of the Lord come? No, that is a very important aspect. So when that is there, so all other things can be adjusted. So this other devotee is also nice. They are also rendering service to Krishna, and Krishna must be very pleased, with them also. So like, if they come up first, it's like, no, it is very good, like very nice. So in that way, Krishna becomes pleased. No, I want that only, like no. So like that, but then simultaneously working hard to come first. So this is this is called pure devotional service. So it is like working hard and at the same time becoming happy with other success. Right. So this is one aspect, and now where I was mentioning that so the Lord becomes pleased, even if a person is executing karma mishra or jnana mishra, so still he becomes pleased, and that's how with the Lord's pleasure only they are able to make some crawling steps they are able to take. That's the greatest mercy of the Lord. He becomes pleased with in even insignificant service. So even insignificant impure service, so he becomes pleased and he purifies the like performer of devotional service, right? So I hope I have not missed the point which I was supposed to tell. Anushilanam, following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas. So that's very essential. And okay, so if I remember, I'll get back to that point. I took too much of a tangent, so I missed the point. So, anyways, so the aspect of the pure devotional service is very nice. Like here, we see that the Lord here again an aspect of the prayer to the Lord for getting a son, just like the Lord. So this, many times this has happened. So what all other occasions this has happened? Prishni and Sutapa, and then so the same thing Vasudev tells later on, that in 11th canto he laments that I just asked for Lord to become my son, he just became my son, and I couldn't able to see his the childhood pastimes. I didn't ask that I want to serve him. I just asked he has to become my son, and he just became my son and he went out. Right, so like he laments very badly for that. So and which other case this happens? Kardama? Kapila Dev appears. Okay, Ruchi and Akuti. I don't remember that past time exactly. Even Dattatreya also is similar kind of this one, he was worshipping, whoever is the Supreme Lord it may be, so he was worshipping like that, and then Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, all three of them came, and then he addressed them that I need a son.
He asked Jagadish, and for this material world, these
three are Ishwaras, and then all three of them had to become the children, so like that. So in this way, like many occasions, this thing is there, and in the Bhagavatam we see many places this kind of benedictions are offered. And another important aspect is, one important angle that is mentioned here is, the Lord says that what you have asked for is very difficult to attain, and then still, because you have, in the other case, like in Dhruva Maharaj's case, he says, it is very difficult to attain, but then because you have pleased me, nothing is impossible, for a person who is pleased me. Though it is impossible, but still it is, I'll make it possible and it will happen. Whatever you thought of, like a kingdom which is much greater than the great grandfather. So great grandfather is Brahma, and Brahma's property is the whole universe. And anything bigger than the whole universe, that means like in the whole universal order some new entity will come up. So it is quite a this one, and an entity that should be created that is not under the control of Brahma. So like it should be like more opulent and more better than the Brahma's creation. And it has never been done like this. Lord says like it is impossible, but because you have pleased me, no, nothing is impossible. No, whatever you have thought, like no, it should come up. And this case, like in the present case, what's happening is because the Brahmanas are non-different from me, no, like I consider their mouth to be like exactly my mouth. So whatever they eat, it is like ahuti, and whatever they speak, it is the words of Lord. So the Lord will hold true. Whatever the Brahmanas speak. Because the Brahmanas, they have vibrated this, that you will have a son like me, so that can never go wrong. So that is another very important thing. The Lord actually stands by the word of pure Brahmanas, and that is why, like, we have this system, like culture or etiquette, that before we do something, we actually take blessings of our superiors. And if they say, no, Prabhu, like, no, everything will happen nicely, and they bless us, so then it becomes like, no, it is assured, it will happen nicely, right? So when the first set of devotees, when they were going, that London, when they were going to London that time, so Prabhupada asked all the devotees, like, no, so you're all chanting Hare Krishna, your blessings will work. Please bless these people, they are going for preaching work. So, and then, so all of them, like they prayed for that couple, and then, they went. So in this way, it is quite a this one. Prabhupada was also establishing this particular point. So anybody who is sincerely chanting Hare Krishna mantra, so their words, has value. And my Guru Maharaj actually says that, like whenever somebody says like, hey, hurry up, like you will miss the train. So there's like, no, you're a Brahmana, like why are you telling negative words? No, you go fast so that you can catch the train. So if you tell like this, it may happen like that. So because you are chanting Hare Krishna, whatever you say may come true. So, like speak positively, in that way. So it is, we have a responsibility, and if we are too audacious and if we are too careless in using our words, then Lord will also give up. This guy is not a pure Brahmana. Chodo usko. So, but if you are sincerely practicing Krishna consciousness, so then Lord will, make the words of a devotee true, and like there is gradations are there, If a normal devotee's words have to be overruled, much more powerful devotee's words should be there, and like if we speak something contrary to the Acharya's words and scriptures, then Lord is not going to take pain of like making it reverse, So because pure devotee will never what is that? Sadhu marganu gamanam, right? So that is his one of the trait, of a sincere devotee. So, but if he willfully like goes against the sadhu marga, so then the Lord is not going to, make that thing, true. So, but then like this is a very important culture and etiquette that we take the blessings of the superiors, and senior devotees for like performing anything nice in our life, so that by their blessings it becomes more solidified. So, whenever I speak about this, I also remember this one of. Yudhishthir Maharaj comes and takes blessings, and then of Bhishma and Drona, and then they say like Dirgayu and something Vijay, Vijay Bhaval and things like that and all. So then Duryodhana becomes very upset. Why are you giving such blessings? And they say, you fool, like you would have gone and, he's your elder, you would have gone and take blessings, he would have also given the same blessings to you. You are a fool, like you are not going. तब भी नहीं गया वो. इतना मूर्ख था, So he didn't had any value for the superior's blessings. He had only value of his own valor, his own strength. He was counting upon that, and he was counting on those people like who came from the Patal, and they told like, no, we will be there with you, you go and fight. And we will haunt even Bhishma and Drona, and they will fight on our influence. All these words like, so he was like constantly remembering that, and he is telling that, victory will be mine, like, I just have to like, this one. So in that way, like that is less intelligence to depend on one's own strength, So we should always depend on the strength of the blessings of the Lord and the Vaishnavas. So then that is like very solid shield for us. And in today's this one, so the Lord is telling Anupalabhamana. So like no, there is nobody is upalabdhi nahi hai, no. So like there is nobody is there like that. So atmatulyam, so equal to me, So it is not there. So avatarishyami. So I myself will descend, here. So this is what he is actually mentioning. And so here there is one important philosophical point that is described is the Lord is one without a second. He is one entity. And then in fact the definition of fear, I always like that this one, because it has a very strong philosophical point. So it says that Bhayam Dvitiyad Abhiniveshatasya Ishadapetasya Vipariyo Mukha. So like the fear actually comes when we see a second reality, a reality which is different from the Lord. So according to the definition of Chatushloki Bhagavatam, so anything that exists which doesn't have a connection with the Supreme Lord is considered to be illusion, and only illusion can create fear in the heart of a person. So like here we see that the Lord is one without a second, but still he has innumerable expansions. So whenever Mayavadis, like when they come and argue with people, argue with devotees, like they say like everything is one, and we also say like yeah, perfect, everything is one. So this one ekameva advitiyat. So but the problem is you say that one doesn't have any attributes, any qualities, any energies and expansions. We say that one entity has so much of attributes, so much of qualities, so much of expansion and things like that. So that's the problem. So we also agree that everything is one. There is no two realities that exist. The tattva, the ultimate tattva is everything is one only. Right? So there is the Supreme Lord is one without a second. There is no second entity exists. There is only one entity exists. So he expands himself by Shvaamsa. So in this regard, I like Prabhupada's example or Prabhupada's standard quotation of that Ekadesha Sthita Shagni, Jyotsa Vistarina Yata Parasya Brahmana Shakti Yatetam Akilam Jagat. So the Agni, how it is situated in one place, but still it is Jyotsna Vistarina, like it is spreading its Jyoti. In the same way, Parasya Brahmana Shakti, the Supreme Lord's wonderful energies. So Yatetam Akilam Jagat, so it is spread throughout entire creation. So, like the Lord expands by his Swaamsha. Swaamsha means his personal expansion, as the Vishnu Tattva, and Vibhinnamsha means Jiva and the material energies, And so in this way, like he expands in the Vibhinnamsha category, right? So separated expansions. So separated expansion. So it is not a contradiction to the thing that we had discussed. That is, nothing is separate from the Lord, everything is connected to him and he is one entity. So separated expansion matlab do ho gaya na, So it's a alag, binna, it's a very vibhinna amsha, it's like binna amsha, like binna means like a separated entity. So but it is not like that. So it is explained like, it is not exactly the Lord, but it has its connection with the Lord, and it has its connection, at a little distance, right? So in that way, if it is separated by a distance, so then it is called the Vibhinnamsha, but still it has its connection to the Lord. So connection is never lost. Still the Lord is one entity, putting everything together. All the material nature, the living entities, everything is part and parcel of the Lord. So when we are talking about Bhinna, so at the same time we are also talking about part and parcel. So like it is like the Lord is one without a second, so there is no second entity that exists. So because when we call it as Bhinna, it doesn't become a second entity. It doesn't become a separate entity. It is still one entity, the Supreme Lord. Right? So Lord Vishnu herein agrees to send his original expansion as the son of Meru Devi, the wife of Maharaj Nabi, who is the son of Agnidra. It's a very amazing this one word. So this is Agnidriya, So like Agnidra is the son of Agnidra is called as some. No. The word is the Sanskrit word. So now the derivation is brought about like I exactly don't know how the grammar works here. So derivation is brought about the son of, just like son of Vasudeva is Vastu, like that, son of Agnidra is Agnidra, something like that. So this word is brought about, and from that word, his wife is also brought about. So like Agnidriye. So like that is the wife of, like, son of Maharaj Agnidra. So like that. So this is such a rich language. No, amazing language the Sanskrit is. We can have so much of derivations from one person. Right? So that's what is mentioned. Like the Lord Vishnu herein agrees to send his personal expansion as the son of Meru Devi, the wife of Maharaj Nabi, who is the son of Agnidra. So all this thing, one whole sentence is put in one single word. So such a amazing this one encapsulation. So the Ritvijaha, the priests, knew that the God is one, yet they prayed for the Supreme Lord to become the son of Maharaj Nabi, to let the world know that the absolute truth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is one without a second. So he can very easily do this thing. So he can, what is that? This one, another thing which Prabhupada mentions is Goloka eva nivasati Akilatma Bhuto, right? So he stays in the Goloka, Krishna. So at the same time, Akilatma Bhuto, in all the places he expands as Paramatma, right? So in the same way, or he expands in different ways. So in the same way, the Lord may be situated in one place, but still he can expand. No, there is no limit for his expansions. No, he can very nicely expand, and he can present himself in various places and perform wonderful pastimes. So when he incarnates, he expands himself in different potencies, right? So like through his internal potency he expands, and then he also displays the potencies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And in this connection, like I always appreciate Zalnas Banu Maharaj's definition of different incarnations, possessing different or displaying different potencies. Anybody remember that example?
The moon example.
Moon in different phases. So like Maharaj asked, like when there is a partial moon, is the moon cut into pieces? No, it is not cut into pieces. It just chooses to reveal certain portion of itself. The moon is still complete. So that is why everywhere this word plenary expansion is used. Plenary means complete. Like this term. Previously I was pronouncing it wrongly. Planary expansion, like that. So then when we went for attending some meetings in this one in Mayapur and all. So there, like they call that individual meetings. What do they call individual meetings? Subcommittee meetings, and then plenary meeting. Plenary meeting means all subcommittees come together and in one hall, it's like whole meeting actually happens. So something like that. So plenary means complete, everything, all inclusive. So that is why this word again and again is used, plenary expansion of the Lord. So this plenary means it's a complete expansion of the Lord. It is not that Bhagavan ko आधा काट के ओम पूर्णमिदम नहीं है. भगवान एक्सपैंड हो रहा है, मतलब कुछ भगवान का कुछ लाइक गॉड पार्टिकल को लेके एक अलग भगवान बनाया है ऐसा नहीं है. सो द लॉर्ड इज एक्सपैंडिंग and coming with all his potencies, but he is choosing to display only certain set of potencies. Right? So that is the way like we can actually understand. So like when he incarnates, he expands himself in different potencies. Okay. So with this, I pause today's discussion. Any comments, questions? Okay. Yes.
One question. So where in the initial part, we discussed about, or you described how when we have this negative feeling for someone else, so that's not pure devotion. Like someone is going ahead and we are not happy. So this is something which is ingrained in all of us because we come from that background of corporate education or whatever. So how is this practical, for sadhakas? Okay. Is it again we have to do it artificially? Again, artificial will be external only, and still internally the same thing will remain.
See, like if we spontaneous devotional service, now we can do only materialism spontaneously. So then we see that, okay, like now I have to align to pure devotional service. So my spontaneity will drag me to materialism or somewhere towards karma Karma Mishra or Jnana Mishra. So this like Mishrit cheeses like it will be that is what where my spontaneity will drag me towards. So then I have to like see that this is pure devotional service and pure devotees behave like this, and for that like I keep studying Srimad Bhagavatam. Oh, pure devotees are asking like this, and demigods with Mishra Bhakti they are coming and praying something, and then no Lord is pleased, but then still he is not that happy. But then when the pure devotees of the Lord, when they go and approach and when they offer their prayers, and after offering their prayers, like they just say like simply I just want to render service to you, and life after life I don't want to have any other thing apart from your service. That's my only goal. So that has been appreciated. So such a biased literature like Srimad Bhagavatam we are reading, wherein everything is condemned and only pure devotion service is like glorified. So बार बार उसको सुनने में like ठीक है like यही करना होगा. So we'll take that in this one, and then we try to apply that, and then we try to practice. So but that is why Shravanam Kirtanam, when it goes down, our base nature, our spontaneous nature of Mishrit Bhakti will start, or like after some time Bhakti will go only Mishra. So only the contamination will remain, we'll become pure materialist, So Shravanam Kirtanam is the only thing which is keeping us alive in Krishna consciousness, because like without Shravanam Kirtanam what is happening is that we have exposure to material nature, and the material nature we will be influenced by. Spontaneously we are a pure materialist, so like a pure materialist, and in that we are what is that, trying to do devotional service. So the exposure of pure devotional service is very much necessary, right? So like even this point also, like Machchitta Madgata Prana Bodhayandascha Parasparam, that like when we meet, many practical discussions has to happen, like abhi like last few days this Bhagavad Puran thoda हट गया, like land Puran चल रहा है. किसको land मिला, like वो किसको बेचा है, like बीच में कौन आया, ये क्या हुआ, वो क्या हुआ. So like many things we have to deal with practical ways, like to render service to the Lord also. Many practical discussions we have to discuss, but still all these things doesn't have that much of potency as Srimad Bhagavatam has. Why? Because this is like spotless Purana, and only about the glorification of the Lord and Lord's pure devotees, and pure devotional service is so nicely described in this. And like Shravanam about like from Srila Prabhupada and spiritual master, and few like nice devotees like we can actually select and we can hear from them. So this is the like what is it? This is the activating principle of devotional service for us. Without this, it will be like a life nikal gaya, like devotional service ka life nikal gaya, because the exposure of pure devotional service can come only from these entities, like Shravanam Kirtanam. So from there only we can get. So if we are getting more and more this one thought about like Mishrit, just this one, maybe the contamination is quite strong. So because of the power of pure devotional service that I am performing, that contamination will go over a period of time. So I have to be patient and I have to apply the process. But the betterment should happen, time to time the betterment should happen. So this is what we are going to cover in that the science of devotion, the science of Bhakti Yoga seminar. So wherein some few important aspects have to be ensured. So we are studying Bhagavatam, we are coming in association with the holy name, but are we like eliminating all the resistance in between, so that the effect of these things can work upon me. So if there is resistance, that means if we are Jan Bujke with plan, I am trying to, if it is just a pull of nature, it's okay. With plan, I am nourishing the Karma Mishra or Jnana Mishra, so then it becomes a problem, and then the humility and utter humility, and then I really want the Lord, and I can if everything goes for toss in my life, it's okay. I just simply want to attain the Lord. So that this one, that like goal should be clear, and then the attachment to the goal should be very strong, and many other aspects are there. So if all these elements are put at the proper place, so then we can actually expect that purification happens much faster. Otherwise, we may become stagnated. We may advance to a certain level and we may become stagnated, because No, we are associating with Bhagavatam and holy name with the insulation in in this one, so they will not act upon us, right? So I'm committing offenses and things like that and all, so they will not act upon us. So like if there is no betterment that is happening in my consciousness, then that is a serious problem. No, so betterment should happen. Same question. Yes.
Yeah, I have questions towards attachment towards results. So that is some karma yoga. So, but the
No,
same
karma
attachment-
mishra.
Karma.
Bhakti yoga, so definitely there. We are engaged in Shravanam, Kirtanam, and things like that. So, but no,
My
contaminated.
question is so the same attachment when you are doing the spiritual activities, and there will be some disturbances. And my question is, we are thinking might be if I go that way or this way, I should not face these problems. We are thinking maximum times. The current scenario, the land issues, you are facing some little disturbance like this, and we are thinking maybe it should not be intense if I do like this or like this. How you are motivating yourself in this circumstances?
So, yeah, one thing is that before entering the deal, now we see that definitely last few days, my chanting was really pathetic. thinking only about this, and then I am constantly telling to myself, see, you should do yajna, you should do this one, what is that? You should chant only for the purpose of chanting because the spiritual master has told, and with absorption and things like that. And थोड़ा सा मन लगता है, उसके बाद फिर से वो बंदा ने ऐसा बोला this has happened like this, that has happened like this, and all those stories starts. And sometimes we just build the whole temple in the mind only. ये इधर आएगा, वो इधर आएगा, all those things happens. So, but then after that, the good intelligence kick starts, and then it says no, we should perform yajna. Finally, this Lakshmi is Lord's, and land is Lord's, temple is Lord's, and finally whatever he has decided, only that will happen. So why am I thinking all these things? I should just be an instrument at this point in time. Whatever the Lord is pushing me to do, only that I have to do. Why I'm thinking so much about the future? So all this battle is going on. Still I'm not victorious. I'm getting defeated every time. So, but then at least the thought process is there. No, what I'm doing is wrong. That much thought process is there. So one devotee was mentioning, the first stage of devotional service is to understand what I'm doing is wrong and I want to do right. It is not that the moment I become devotee, whatever I'm doing is right. No, the first stage of devotional service is understanding. No, I am a karmi. No, I am whatever my thought process is it is not correct. So, and Bhagavatam, what it says, that is devotee. And there is a long gap between me and the devotee. I have to become like that. That is why every day I am reading Bhagavatam. So, at least this much humility we should have, that I am wrong. So, so, and I want to become like this, right? So, I want to become like the pure devotees, which is mentioned in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? So, we should aspire for that, and we should strongly have that aspiration. And we should have strong condemnation about ourselves. My mind is so much oriented, materially, and just this one, spontaneously it just comes into material thoughts, and then the thoughts about future and thoughts about how we will make things, and then we'll build a big building in the mind and then break it down and then build another building. All those things happens. So we should strongly condemn ourselves, and we should feel that. That's why morning Namamrita, I was appreciating a lot that the condemnation, that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knows what is the real medicine that needs. So he is condemning himself, saying that this holy name is so powerful, so amazing, it is invested with all its powers, and then it's so beautiful. So still I am not getting attraction towards the holy name, right? So like that. So this is a very important, this one, this is my verse of meditation now. So पहले थोड़ा सा 5th वर्ष में था, अभी थोड़ा फॉल डाउन होके 2nd वर्ष में आ गया. So कभी कभी 1st वर्ष में जाता है first of all I should meditate on the glories of the holy name, right? So holy name and the Lord is so amazing, just meditate on the glories of the holy name, and then थोड़ा सा उसमें मन लग गया, then become अरे इतना अच्छा holy name है, फिर भी my mind is going there, so why it is not getting attracted? So like that. So we should try to work on those things. Mhm.
So we were discussing about Vimanansha and Samvansha. So what is the basic difference? Is that Vimanansha comes under material nature, but Samvansha never comes under.
Yeah, Swamsha is the Lord's personal expansions, the Vishnu Tattva. Vibhinnamsha is the Jiva Tattva and the material nature.
So it was our desire that we should be expanded as Vimanansha. It was our desire.
No, it's Lord who.
Lord is responsible here. He would have
See,
expanded as Swamsha.
Lord gives the protection. Lord expands into Vibhinnamsha, like no, that is, and then no, he gives complete arrangement for our proper maintenance and things like that. So, but then still, if the desire comes, no, of the living entity that no, I want to be separate.
If you would have expanded as a Swamsha, that option was
I don't know why our Abhishek Bhai always gets suicidal thoughts. You know, अगर मैं होगा ही नहीं था लेकिन so if I would have not been there, so the Lord has created me and there is a good opportunity to render devotional service and be happy in Krishna consciousness. So if I would have not been created, no, I would have not got this opportunity to render devotional service. Right? So there is equal and powerful, but then still the devotional service is a step up, no, than the suffering in the material world. So no, I don't know why devotees don't appreciate this. Like that Lord has created. Thank God, like no, He has created me, and I am getting an opportunity to render devotional service. Right. So one day I'll be like, I'll be there back in the spiritual world, and I'll have wonderful association of the Supreme Lord. Right. So that's a nice nice experience also. And there is no point of creation. There is no point of creation. We always existed. No? And this also puts a question on the Lord's completeness. The Lord becomes, the Supreme Absolute Truth becomes complete with all these potencies and energies. So, like, if the Lord were to, then there will be problem for material energy also. मुझे क्यों बनाया? Like उसको नहीं बनाया तो, So then finally the will go towards, the whole definition will tend towards Nirvishesh and Nirakar. That's where it will actually go towards. You start cutting the different potencies of the Lord one by one.
And this question of why I'm not Swamsha also says why I'm not God.
Why I'm not God? भगवान क्यों नहीं है? थोड़ा सा अलग expansion हो गया होता तो मैं भी भगवान बन सकता था. Yeah. So anywhere any deviation, Prabhupada says like if like one time like it happened that Prabhupada is not the real spiritual master. Bhakti Siddhanta is the real spiritual master. And then Prabhupada told like anywhere any small deviation from the standard map of the practice of Krishna consciousness, it will go towards Mayavad. You just work out the same thing extending, it will go into Mayavad.
Swamsha, Vibhinnamsha?
Yes.
Swamsha, Vibhinnamsha. Then what about the internal potency? I was just trying to connect.
Internal potency, it comes under the Shakti, this one, expansion of the Lord. Whenever this topic came, I saw Prabhupada was mentioning about Swamsha means Vishnu Tattva and Vibhinnamsha means the separated expansions. So that is the, actually he says separated expansion, living entity, So this,
both
like
material and spiritual comes in Shakti.
Shakti, yeah. Yes.
Regarding that another aspect to that question, why am I not Swamsha? Lord is Atmaram, he is happy anyways, but he says that Naham Tishtami Vaikunthi Yoginam Tatra Tishtami Narada Yatra Gayanti. So the kind of happiness which he gets by the devotional service rendered by Vibhinnamshas, he relishes that too much. He wants that. That's why he says that I reside in a place where my devotees are staying, and devotees are Vibhinnamshas. It is clear that he wants to not just all the time experience himself, but he wants to experience that glory of bhakti, which is individually, spontaneously, and voluntarily rendered by Vibhinnamshas, and he likes that.
Swamsha is not quite. Swamsa should ask why we are not doing
Swam.
Swam should aspire why we are not living in Shah.
Lord Chaitanya is coming in the form to do it.
Yeah, that aspiration is already there in its perfection.
Thank you very much for that. And like, my question is extended to that only. Like, Shaktavesh Avatar comes under Swamsha or Vibhinamsha?
It is a Vibhinnamsha who is empowered by the potency of the Vishnu.
So they will also be part of Vibhinamsha.
Yeah. By Tattva is their Vibhinnamsha, but they can perform acts as good as the Supreme Lord Vishnu. Now, when they perform their acts, it will be like that. When Prithu Maharaj rules, he will rule just as the Supreme Lord would rule if he is personally present. Because his ruling potency is being invested upon him.
So they don't have all potencies.
Whichever potency is invested upon him, like that. So Narad Muni is the Shaktivesh avatar in terms of devotional service, right? So like that.
But Swamsha will have all.
Swamsa, all the potencies, but still they choose to display certain potencies.
Asking like sun, so you could give some Shaktavesh avatar.
Which one? कुछ तो मिलना चाहिए कुछ नहीं मिलना. So
some like you, so you can give some Shaktavesh.
This one is like the irony is that the person who keeps thinking that मैं ये हो सकता वो ही pauper होता है. The person who thinks that I am pauper, Lord invests lot of energy upon him. That is the irony of the whole game. So one who doesn't want anything, the Lord gives so many things. And one who wants, उसको थोड़ा सा दिखा के लेके निकाल देते हैं. उसके बाद कुछ नहीं रहता. So that is why it is mentioned. Like if we want the maximum thing, what is the maximum thing that we can achieve in the whole creation? Krishna himself, and he becomes akinchana gochara. One who doesn't want anything at all and who doesn't identify with anything at all. Lord, I don't want anything at all. To him, he becomes the possession. Right? So one who wants कम से कम इतना तो मिलना चाहिए, like ठीक है, like इतना नहीं मिल सकते, थोड़ा सा कम देता हूँ, बार्गेनिंग करके थोड़ा दे देते हैं उसको, सेटल हो गया ना, तुम चले जाओ. So but then the pure devotees, they are very greedy. Like मुझे स्वामशा नहीं चाहिए, विभिन्नमशा नहीं चाहिए, कुछ भी नहीं चाहिए, तुम like wholesale भगवान चाहिए, तो फिर भगवान उनके पास जाते हैं, like that. हरे कृष्ण. अंतर्राष्ट्रीय श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय और भक्तवृंद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.
अभिषेक को फुल टाइम देखते अच्छा लग रहा है.